Hello friends, from this video onwards we will have a short videos on the topics. We will do each and every topic, but videos will be of hardly 10 to 15 minutes each. So in this video we are going to do a topic from paper 1 chapter 6, which is neo-evolutionism. We already have done classical evolutionism, where we associated it with E.B. Tyler, L.H. Morgan and James Fraser. So here in neo-evolutionism, the personalities are Child, White, Julian Stewart, Sahalin and Service. So we will have a separate video on each one of them, but in this video the main focus is on neo-evolutionism. Okay. So around 1940s, a new intellectual tradition started where the writing of scholars showed keen interest in the idea of evolutionism. Now, but you see that by 1940s, when this new idea started, by 1920s, classical evolution was basically faded away, or people were moved to the other discipline, and the concept of classical evolutionism had become obsolete or dated. Okay, so evolution was basically an obsolete theory. Right now, they revived it on the important argument that there was nothing wrong with the idea of evolution. This was the first thing, that there was nothing wrong with the idea of evolutionism, but the methodology which classical evolutionists they followed was definitely faulty, and it was not scientific. They argued that the method of study should be scientific and method of study should be scientific method of study should be scientific and rational, and it becomes scientific if you choose appropriate unit of analyze. They suggested units like technology, energy, time, environment and population. Studying these units on evolutionary perspective can throw light on human civilization. The scholars can be classified into basically three broad types. The first is universal evolution. For example, classical evolutionists, they talked about an evolution which basically started from Egypt. That was the view of classical evolutionist, but this view was basically rejected by the neo-evolutionist, and they talked about the probability of universal evolution, that evolution happened everywhere in the globe. Now they talked about multilinear evolutionism. Uh, this different civilizations, they had their evolution on their own, from their own genre. So basically Egypt is not the center of evolution, that comes under multilinear evolution. And universal, it means that at other places on the world the evolution also was taking place. And next was neo-Darwinism. Okay, so universal evolutionism. Universal evolutionism argues that The specific phase given by unilinear evolutionists of classical times cannot explain the phenomena everywhere. So they rejected the idea of giving specific and well-defined and well-detailed stage of cultural evolution because the variation in an environment, variation in culture and variation in technology is also something which have to be taken into consider. Technology, environment and variation in culture, this thing have to be taken into consideration. They bring out diversity of successive stages. Their motto was to give broad phase of evolution which can explain the evolutionary process at universal level. Broad phases of evolutionism. They relied on archaeological and ethnographic evidences. Archaeological and ethnographic evidences to construct these stages. For example, the idea of Neolithic culture. You see, the idea of Neolithic culture as revolutionary change because of the cultivation or because of the tool technology called as celt which was used. So agriculture came in and agriculture came in and it become a revolutionary change when celt was used for tool technology. Agriculture came in and some of the so-called primitive societies they are still practicing in shifting cultivation and horticulture with different types of technology. So archaeologists rely on both the data and try to make sense that now we can construct the broad pathways of universal evolution. Now the next topic here is multilinear evolution and multilinear evolutionism. Now multilinear evolutionism believed that depending on environmental and cultural condition, the evolutionary course of traits of the culture will be different. They argued that environment play a key role. Play a key role in determining the successive stage of evolution. So multilinear evolution is a field of cultural ecology. This field believes that this is meaningful interplay between environment, culture through technology and adaptation. And hence the multilinear evolution. So multilinear evolutionism basically believes that depending on environment and cultural condition, the evolutionary course or pathway will be different for every society. They argued that environment basically plays a key role in determining the successive stages of evolution. So multilinear evolution is a field of cultural ecology. Multilinear evolution is a field of cultural ecology, and this field believes that there is a meaningful interplay between environment, culture, technology, and it happens to adaptation. Now the last topic here is neo-evolutionism. It refers to the application of Darwinian principle to explain various social mechanisms, and it is basically called as social biology. To explain various social mechanism. So that comes under new evolutionism. Continuing forward, Gordon Child, the first scholar of this, and we will do this particular scholar in the next video. Thank you and stay blessed.